Good morning, it's time for a cup of joe.
I want to be a cup of joe, first sip in the morning.
Okay, so in the book I've been reading, it's called Manvotionals, by the way. It's an Art of Manliness book, which is a blog. It's super good. I highly recommend it to all you guys out there. But in it, there's this parable, this sort of story, and I don't even know if it's true or really happened. It's talking about the virtue of honor and your honor, and how men should be men of their word and men of honor and all this stuff. And the parable it tells is of this dad and son who, it's the night before bass fishing season begins. So it's the night before, they're out on the lake or whatever. Do bass even, are they? They're in lakes, right? I'm not a big fisherman, but it's the night before the season begins, and they're out fishing. They're practicing casting the line. Well, and the boy, he casts his line, and he actually ends up catching a fish, and he reels it in, and this big old bass, it's like super big, bigger than normal. He's all excited about it and everything, and then his dad says, "What time is it?" He checks the time, and it's like 20 minutes to midnight. And so his dad says, "It's not midnight yet, son. It's not bass season. We have to throw it back. You can't keep it. That's the law." And so the point of the story is, like, think of the message that dad sent to his son. Like, obviously no one would have known, no one would have been hurt. There would have been no problem necessarily with them keeping the bass, except for that it was not in line with his code of honor. It was not following the laws at hand, the laws of the land. And so he didn't keep the bass. He made his son put it back in. And think of the lesson that taught that kid. And yeah, maybe the kid's going to be annoyed right then, but years later it's not going to matter whether or not he kept the bass. It's what's going to matter is the lesson that his dad taught him through doing that. And after I read that, I was just really inspired by it. And the thing is, I have never been a good rule follower at all. Even when I'm like in a position of authority, I'm still often trying to see what I can get away with, or what, like when we're on like trips and stuff, what my kids can get away with. So I'm afraid, after reading that, I'm like, you know what, I don't know if I'm going to end up really giving my kids a good message of honesty and honor. Like, a part of me wants to be that dad who's like, "Son, you have to put that back." Now, right now, if that was me and I had a son and we were out there and he caught that, I'd be like, "You keep that sucker." Like, it would not even cross my mind to be concerned about following the law and putting it back in. So anyway, I've been thinking about this whole law thing and how I've never been good at following rules unless I understand them and agree with them. But if I don't like the rule and I think it's stupid and I'm not going to get caught, I just break it. And hearing me say that, obviously it's very juvenile, very immature way of going about life, but hey, that's how I am. So anyways, so this got me to thinking about the speed limit. Now, to me, this is like the one law that everyone I know seems to break. I have never met someone who says they refuse to go over the speed limit, which is funny because so many people, probably most people, if you ask them like, "Hey, do you follow the law? Are you a law abider?" You know, they probably say, "Oh yeah, of course I follow the laws." But no one seems to mind speeding. Like, you drive by these signs that say 55 miles per hour, and everyone's going like 70, no problem. And why is that? I think it's because we know that we can, like, I feel safe driving faster than the speed limit most of the time. I know how to drive. I know that it's not going to be dangerous. Or if it is, it's not going to be that much more dangerous. I mean, driving is dangerous anyways. Is it really that much more dangerous to drive like that? Yeah, so, where am I going with this? So for the past few weeks, I've been trying to go the speed limit, just as like an experiment, just to see what happens, what it's like. And it was hard at first. I'm getting better at it. Like, I drive 15 minutes to work and 15 minutes back every day. It's the same route, so I'm used to going the same speeds at the same time, so it's hard to scale that back. Like, the main road I drive on, like the road I'm driving on right now, is 55 miles an hour. I usually never even sped that much out of fear of getting tickets. Aaron and I have both gotten speeding tickets, and those are not cheap or fun. So I never went more than like 5 to 7. I mean, if I'm really in a hurry, maybe 10 miles over the speed limit. But I've been going the dead speed limit. Like, I'm going 55 right now. Even just then, I was starting to go 56. I need to scale back. It's really hard to do. And everyone behind you, there's just like a pileup of cars behind me, like, all the time. All these people probably thinking, like, what is wrong with this guy? Like, why is he going so slow? And I used to be that person, because it's like, the speed limit is supposed to be a maximum, But really, I always thought of it as a minimum. Like, if you're not going at least the speed limit, oh man, you are the worst person ever. Like, go, go, go. Which is a very, you know, modern, Western, whatever mentality. So, I don't know. That's just something I've been thinking about. Now, there's still some laws that I, right now, can never picture myself following. Like, for instance, the drinking age of 21 to me is unbelievably outrageous. So when my kids are like 18 years old, there's no way I'm telling them you can vote, you can smoke, you can drive, you can join the army and fight and die for the country, but you can't have a beer. Like, that'll probably never be a thing that I'm going to tell someone. But who knows, maybe I will. Maybe I'll become that bass fishing dad. So what about you? What other laws that you think are silly that you break that maybe you shouldn't, or you think it's fine? Doesn't it in the Bible somewhere talk about how you should follow man's law? Because if you can't even follow man's law, how will you ever follow God's law? I feel like that's a thing. Maybe not, though. I don't know. I'll look it up, but let me know so I don't have to. This has been your Cup of Joe.
Breaking the law, 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 breaking the law. So much for let's go in the future.
Love you, bye. I wonder if it's illegal for me to do this because what if a cop thinks I'm watching a movie? That just like watching and driving. People probably do that, right? I don't know. That'd be funny. Oh, sorry. It's fine, officer. I was just filming myself. Now I'm filming you. Film the police.